You lie back, feeling the gentle pull of distant stars. A tender gravity calls to you, as if inviting your body to drift beyond Earth's cradle. Tonight, you will float closer to realms where time itself bends. Your journey begins with a soft descent into the mysteries of mass and motion. Asterisk, you rest quietly, eyes closed, as the world softens around you. Your breath comes slow and shallow, a rhythm that belongs more to the night sky than to any busy day. In this stillness, something gentle tugs at you, like a delicate thread woven through your chest. You sense it pulling not downward, but outward, toward a canvas freckled with distant, patient stars. This is gravity's first whisper, a voice so subtle you often forget it's there. Yet it holds you even now, cradling you against Earth's warm body. You imagine for a moment that you are weightless, drifting just above the ground. But still you feel gravity's hand on your shoulder, reminding you that you are part of this planet, stitched into its gentle spinning. With another breath, you let go just a little more. You picture yourself rising, untethered, slipping free from Earth's immediate embrace. Up here, among cool currents of invisible air, you begin to sense gravity not as a force that yanks you down, but as a tender invitation, a soft, continuous promise that you belong to something vast. Now let your mind wander even farther, higher than airplanes, higher than satellites tracing silent paths. You pass the thin line where Earth's atmosphere fades into space, and here gravity still follows you. It is quieter now, more like a hum beneath your skin, but it never truly vanishes. The planet's mass, its enormous ancient body, sings out to you through the curve of space-time itself. You've heard it said that gravity is simply a pull, but this is only half the truth. In the quiet darkness of the cosmos, gravity is more like a lullaby woven into the very structure of existence. Picture space as a soft, flexible fabric. Place a heavy ball upon it. The fabric bends, forming gentle valleys. This is what massive bodies do. Earth, the sun, and even your own body leave tiny impressions, inviting other things to roll close, to be near, to dance together through curved paths. Close your eyes tighter and feel your own mass pressing faintly on the fabric of the universe. It's delicate, almost imperceptible, but it's there. Your private indentation on space-time. You are not separate from this great cosmic weaving. You shape it, ever so slightly, just by existing. Now imagine drifting toward something far, heavier than Earth. Your path is slow and smooth, like gliding on silk. In the distance shines a tiny, impossibly dense star, the leftover heart of a once giant sun. Its gravity is a deeper song, vibrating through space with a resonance that calls to you more powerfully than anything you've felt before. This is where you're headed, drawn by the promise of secrets tucked into its immense pull. As you approach, you begin to feel how the rules change. Here, mass doesn't merely curve space, it wraps it in tighter, more intimate folds. Time itself, that quiet stream you float upon each moment, slows under the stars' influence. Your thoughts stretch into long, luxurious shapes. A single breath becomes a gentle lifetime. This is the subtle magic of gravity near something so dense. It doesn't just tug on your body. It tugs on your moments, on your hours, on the very ticking of your inner clock. Pause now, resting inside this notion. Think of how different your life might feel if time slowed in this way. How each smile, each sigh, could blossom into something more profound simply because there was more time for it to unfold. Near this star, that is not fantasy, It's woven into the geometry of reality. Mass tells space-time how to bend, and space-time tells clocks how to tick. Your body, your mind, your memories all follow this quiet choreography. You drift closer still. The neutron star ahead is not large, perhaps only the size of a modest city. But inside it lies a mass greater than our sun, packed so tightly that atoms themselves are pressed shoulder to shoulder, leaving no space for empty whispers. This incredible compactness deepens its gravitational well, turning space into a soft funnel that you cannot help but slide into. And as you slide, your heart slows too. Each pulse becomes a long, slow bloom, not out of fear, but because here, time is a different texture. To someone watching from far away, perhaps back on gentle Earth, it might seem as though you hover on the edge of the star forever, frozen in a delicate ballet. But to you, it feels perfectly natural. Moments still pass, thoughts still rise and settle. Only the clock inside you beats to this new, languid rhythm. A quiet awe fills you. How remarkable that the universe holds such places, where the ordinary rules stretch into graceful new forms, where seconds gather weight, becoming rich with possibility, where gravity is not just a downward pull, but a reshaping of everything, space, time, even the way your own story unfolds. You begin to sense how everything is connected by these subtle curves. The Earth you left behind, the neutron star that beckons, the path between them, all sewn together by the same threads. Your journey isn't just across distance, but across textures of time itself. As you float in this dreamlike state, you feel the gravity of the star not as a harsh force, but as a tender guide leading you ever deeper into mysteries. It's a lullaby more ancient than planets, more patient than light. And in its song, you start to hear faint promises of even stranger wonders, of how clocks might nearly stop, of how light itself struggles to escape such depths. For now, you rest inside gravity's whisper, cradled by the notion that mass and motion shape not only where you are, but when you are. A calm spreads through your chest, like a pool of warm twilight. Each breath is longer, softer than the last. In this gentle pause, your thoughts begin to drift, naturally toward what lies at the heart of such dense stars. You wonder what secrets they keep hidden, pressed tight by unimaginable weight. What happens when a sun's brilliant life ends and its core collapses inward, forging something entirely new from the ashes of fusion? The question hangs tenderly in your mind, like a lantern swinging at the entrance of a deeper cave. You float toward it, eager yet unhurried, ready to discover how stars surrender their final light, and how, in doing so, they give birth to these compact hearts that bend time itself. In your mind's eye, see a giant star folding into itself, its core squeezing so tightly that atoms tremble. Here, neutron stars are born, dense hearts of ancient suns. You marvel at how something so small can curve the very fabric of time. Asterisk, close your eyes a little more, let your thoughts slip free from their usual orbits, and drift outward into the slow swirl of space. Imagine yourself floating far from Earth, beyond the hush of air, beyond the pale glow of our moon. Here the stars gleam undisturbed, their silent radiance piercing the velvet dark. Now, pick one star. Choose it with your quiet intuition. Perhaps it shines a little brighter, or seems to wink more kindly at you. Hold this star gently in your mind. It is immense, a roaring sphere of hydrogen and helium, burning with such ferocity that it pushes outward against its own vast weight. For millions upon millions of years, this outward push and inward pull dance together in delicate balance. You drift closer, feeling the gentle heat of its distant light brush your cheeks. The star breathes through nuclear fusion, turning light elements into heavier ones deep in its core, each reaction releasing a tiny sigh of energy. It is this constant sighing, a radiant exhale, that keeps the star puffed up, resisting collapse. It is also what allows life to exist far away on planets like Earth, bathed in gentle sunlight. But the story of this star is reaching its tender twilight. It has spent its fuel, the hydrogen long since consumed, and heavier elements have taken their turn in the fusion dance. With iron now pooling in its core, an element that steals energy rather than giving it, the star finds it can no longer hold itself up. The outward breath weakens. Gravity, patient and unrelenting, leans in. You watch as the star begins to fold, not quickly, but inexorably. Layers upon layers slide inward, collapsing toward the center like petals closing at dusk. The core shrinks, compresses, and the weight above bears down with unimaginable force. Atoms, once comfortably spaced, are crushed so tightly their very structure trembles. Electrons are pushed into protons, merging to form neutrons. Light itself struggles to escape the fury, flickering dimly around the imploding shell. In this crucible of collapse, something astonishing happens. The star's heart transforms into a sphere of neutrons, a neutron star. Imagine an entire sun, more massive than our own, compressed into something no wider than a modest city. It is so dense that a single teaspoon of its matter would weigh billions of tons. You let this idea bloom slowly in your thoughts, savoring the strangeness, the quiet miracle of it. This tiny heart, this relic of a giant sun, becomes a beacon of extreme physics. Gravity wrapped tightly around it, curving space like a stone dropped into a calm pond. But here, the stone is unimaginably heavy, the pond's surface infinitely pliable. The fabric of space-time dips steeply around the neutron star, creating a gentle but profound valley that shapes everything nearby. The paths of particles, the flow of light, and even the ticking of time itself. Hover here in your imagination. Just above the neutron star's surface, feel the peculiar calm. There is no chaos here now, only silence. The furious collapse has ended, leaving behind a quietly powerful object. It spins, perhaps dozens or hundreds of times each second, sending out beams of radiation like cosmic lighthouses. If these beams sweep past Earth, we see them as pulses, little heartbeats in the sky, each one marking the steadfast rotation of this collapsed sun. Lean in a little closer. Not too close. The gravity here is gentle only from afar. Up close, it becomes an irresistible pull, a caress so firm it would stretch you beyond recognition. But in this safe distance of thought, you marvel at how something so compact, so seemingly simple, could command the very flow of time. Clocks that drift near this star slow their ticking, as if mesmerized by its silent gravity. A second stretches long and languid, like honey spilling slowly from a spoon. Reflect on this. The same laws that let an apple fall to Earth also govern this neutron star's ability to bend time. Mass, by its very nature, tells space-time how to curve. The greater the mass, or the tighter it's squeezed, the deeper the curve. You realize that time is not a uniform river, flowing equally everywhere. Near these dense hearts have collapsed suns, it pools and eddies, moving differently than it does here on gentle Earth. Imagine how it would feel to live on a planet orbiting such a star. your days would not mirror those on Earth. A year, measured by distant observers, might hold fewer heartbeats for you than for someone far from the stars' grip. You'd age more slowly in their eyes, your life drawn out into a graceful, elongated arc. It's a soothing, slightly eerie thought that simply by being closer to such mass, your personal story could lengthen against the backdrop of the universe. As these ideas drift through you, they settle softly, like leaves finding their place on still water. There is no need to hurry, no need to grasp every detail. Let them float around you, these quiet truths of gravity, density, and time. Now, widen your vision again. Picture the Neutron Star as part of a grand cosmic tapestry. It sits among countless others, black holes, darker still, white dwarfs cooling. After their gentle fades, ordinary suns in all their shining maturity. Each star writes a different chapter in the book of the cosmos. The Neutron Star's chapter is one of transformation, of matter pressed to its limit, of time itself learning. New steps in gravity's ancient dance. Feel a tender wonder at how the universe recycles its elements through such majestic processes. The iron in your blood was forged in long-dead stars, perhaps even in cataclysms like this. In a way, you are linked to these collapsed hearts not just by gravity's reach, but by kinship of matter. The universe is a patient artist, reworking old canvases into new masterpieces, scattering dust that becomes planets, oceans, and the quiet mind now listening to this story. In this gentle contemplation, you begin to sense another mystery beckoning, a question that flickers at the edge of thought like a shy firefly. If gravity can slow time so elegantly, what happens to light itself near such dense bodies? Does it to struggle, changing color, as it tries to escape the deep gravitational wells carved by these collapsed suns? You hold this question close, letting it warm the space behind your eyes. It feels like the perfect next step in your journey to follow a beam of light as it climbs away from a neutron star's curved embrace, to see how its struggle reveals even more of time's delicate fabric. You drift onward, gently, heart steady, mind open, ready to explore how light's quiet voyage can illuminate the tender interplay of gravity and time. Picture a delicate clock, its hands tracing gentle arcs. As it drifts close to a neutron star, the hands slow, almost pausing. Time moves differently here, stretched and reluctant. You sense your own heartbeat syncing with this cosmic lull. Asterisk picture yourself holding a small clock in your hands. Its face is simple, elegant. Two slender hands sweep across pale markings in slow, precise loops. The gentle ticking seems to echo inside your chest, a reminder that even the universe keeps time in countless hidden ways. Now let your thoughts float outward, still cradling this delicate clock. Drift past the familiar embrace of Earth's gentle gravity, past the bright hush of our sun, until you find yourself once again near a neutron star. This small, impossibly dense relic of a collapsed sun waits in the darkness, its gravity curling space and time inward like petals drawing tight. You hover close, feeling not weight but a strange invitation. Hold up your little clock. Watch how its hands respond. From where you stand, they seem to move just as they always have, steady, unhurried. But imagine someone watching from far away, back on calm Earth. To them, your clock's hands begin to crawl, slower and slower, as if caught in thick syrup. Time itself bends here. It stretches under the heavy mass of the neutron star, reluctant to move as swiftly as it does in emptier regions of space. This isn't an illusion or a trick of perception. It's woven into the geometry of the universe. The more massive and compact an object, the deeper the curve it carves into space-time, and the more it lulls the passage of seconds. Close your eyes and feel it inside your own chest. Your heartbeat, so familiar, so tied to your sense of passing moments, begins to change. Not because your body betrays you, but because time itself flows differently in this quiet orbit. Your heart seems to slow, each thump expanding to fill more space, more softness. A minute here is not quite the same as a minute far from the star's pull. Imagine if you lived your life on a small planet circling this neutron star. Your childhood, your growing, your tender joys, they would all unfold under this gentler stream of time. People watching from far-off worlds might see your days stretch out longer, your aging delayed, your story unfolding with an extra grace. To you, it would all feel natural, seamless. Time does not announce its changes. It simply flows around mass, the way water winds around stones. Hold on to your little clock. Its ticking is now a lullaby, drawn longer, lower, each second sighs into the next, reluctant to hurry. There is a quiet beauty in this, a reminder that the universe does not always rush. Some places invite time to linger, to savor its passage with a tenderness that everyday life seldom allows. Now think again of Earth, spinning far from this neutron star. Down there, clocks race ahead by comparison, their hands almost eager in their swiftness. If you were to leave this orbit and return, you would discover something remarkable. Less time has passed for you than for your loved ones. Your clock, faithfully slowed by the neutron star's embrace, would stand as gentle proof that time is not an absolute, but a river that changes speed depending on where it flows. This isn't just the fancy of poets or dreamers. It's a truth tested by astronauts and satellites, by physicists sending beams of light past massive planets. Even on Earth, clocks high on mountain tops tick ever so slightly faster than those at sea level, where gravity's hand is a fraction stronger. It's a tiny difference, almost too small to notice, but it whispers the same story, that mass molds time, slowing it, reshaping it, offering it new rhythms in this slow orbit. With the neutron star's presence wrapping around you like a velvet shawl, you feel an unexpected comfort. Time's reluctance to hurry feels like permission for your own mind to drift, to wander without the usual push of minutes and hours. You realize how much of life is spent racing forward, always leaning toward the next moment, the next breath. Here, near this giant, there is only this gentle unfolding, this delicate pause. Breathe with it. Let your thoughts lengthen the way shadows stretch at sunset. Each idea can take its time to bloom. Each memory can linger a little longer, unfurling its colors and textures without rush. As you hover, you notice something else. Light itself seems to shift here. Beams climbing out of this deep gravitational well lose a bit of their energy, softening into longer, redder waves. It's as if light grows weary in its climb, or perhaps simply chooses to take a more leisurely pace, echoing the way time has slowed. This gentle reddening, called gravitational redshift, is another quiet signature of the neutron star's profound pull on time and space. And so your mind wanders, naturally, tenderly, toward the next wonder. If time can slow and light can struggle under gravity's embrace, what does this mean for the very tides of space-time itself? Could there be currents and eddies, gentle waves of distortion flowing through the cosmos, stirred by the mass of these dense giants? Your heart beats in the long, slow rhythm of this thought, ready to drift onward, to explore how gravity's presence does more than reshape clocks, how it might even stir the very fabric of the universe into quiet, graceful tides.